Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dee Reinhardt. I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. And right now we're going to be talking about getting started. And for many of you, you were at the conference meeting yesterday to talk about this, so I don't want to do a repeat of what we showed you yesterday. So we're going to take it live today. But in the upper left-hand corner is the PowerPoint, and Natasha is going to be driving that for me. And then right next to that, excuse me, in the box is the handout. So if you were not at the meeting yesterday in Chicago, you can get this handout from today's presentation just by clicking the file in the webinar handouts and then downloading it. It will open up a new browser window, so make sure that you check that. If you have any questions during the course of the presentation, please type them into the chat pod, and we will try to get those answers for you. And if it's something that we can't answer at the moment, we will get that answer and add it to our FAQ on the website for you. So if you have not had a chance to answer the polling question, I'm just trying to get a gauge of who's actually been to the Summer Youth Employment Program website yet, and if you've been able to drive around in it a little bit to see all of the new features and excitement that we have going on. And if you would like to, Chelsea just put a note into the chat pod that asks you if you would like to introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, what area you're from, or what organization you're from. That way everybody gets to know each other just a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this polling question here, and I'm going to start sharing my screen. So it'll take just a moment for this to come up live. And I just want to check with everybody. If you can see my screen, please raise your hand. Great. And if you need to, you can go to the top of that box where you're seeing my screen, and you can click the little numbers to say that you want to see it full screen. So right now I'm live on Illinois Worknet. This is the site that everybody sees. We'll just drive through the navigation bar at the top of the screen a little bit just to make sure that we know what the public face of Illinois Worknet is. So this is our main screen that you're seeing right here. And you can get to all kinds of news and information either across the top navigation bar or through the boxes at the bottom with the icons there. We find out a little bit more about the Summer Youth Employment Program, and if you notice, you can see the flyer on the side for the youth recruitment flyer. So right now these first few pages are all about youth. We can see how they get paid, what the information is here, and we can see some success stories from the 2013 program. So that's really great news, so that if somebody's interested and want to see what could be in it for them, they can go and take a look at who participated last year. And just to let you know, we do have this as a responsive application or / website, so that it shows up for you on your smartphone or on the youth smartphone, on a tablet, an iPad, or an Android, as well as on the website itself, which is great because no matter what tool somebody is using, they will actually be able to see the website any way they want to. Back up to the top, we have some information about how youth can qualify. We showed you this in the meeting yesterday, and the application will be coming very soon. We need to verify the addresses and the information that everybody gave us yesterday, and as soon as all of that is verified, we will be able to get the applications up for all of the youth to apply. the locations. This page is based, again, upon the information that you gave us yesterday. So as soon as we have all of that information verified, we will have this page available for you. Again, the apply gives you the opportunity to apply right here by the icon on the right-hand side. It gives you all of the information, and the document that you see on the screen is the information that the youth will need. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for the application to be live, we would encourage you to give everyone the document here or direct them to the document on the website so that they can make sure that they have all of the information that they'll need to make sure that they are fully completing the application and or becoming eligible for the services. Once we have employers, we will have the employers up on our participating web page, but the information that is crucial for them to see is what's in it for them. How will they be able to take advantage of the youth that we are going to be training to become good workers in the future? So participation is key. Why should they participate? A flyer to give them, and the things that they need to know about that. And one of those items is that they cannot displace a current employee, and it cannot impair with any of the collective bargaining items, and they cannot replace a worker who has been laid off. So if it's a question about whether or not you should put a student employee in there, please ask somebody for direction before you make the decision. That's always the best thing to do. Under resources, we have just a ton of resources available for our youth. We have a career interest survey, an information search. The training provider guide is coming up very shortly. We are in test process. I will show you that in the 2:30 webinar, as well as all of the job search preparation that we have coming along. And then always stay in touch with the news and updates, which you can also find in the next tab across the navigation bar. Articles that come out and information that we have posted on behalf of Illinois Worknet Summer Youth Employment Program. Now, a great tool that we have is the FAQ. And these questions are available for all of our people who are interested in the program, as well as potential employer questions. This is a great feature that happens not only here, but in the Summer Youth Employment Guide as well. So if you don't see the question that you have or the answer for your question, all you have to do is click on the box right here, enter your email, pick what topic you would like to ask about, what the subcategory might be, and type the question in the box, and we will get an answer for you. So this is a great feature available to anybody visiting our SYEP guide. Let's move on down from the main page, where you might be going to connect with your portion of the Summer Youth Employment Program, is scrolling to the bottom of your device on this page and going to the SYEP guide. It's under the Partners page, and it's in the very far left column. So just click on the SYEP guide, and you'll see a page with all sorts of resources that are available for you as the person using the system to help the youth. Again, we have all the SYEP 2014 updates. Now, these updates are changes to the system, what's going on. So if you can't quite find something that you used to know where it was, or if you're waiting for something to take place, like the application being online, you can always check this page right here for the SYEP updates. The next feature that's available, let me back up for a moment, is the training and webinar registration, and all of you may have registered for today's webinars by going here. Well, what's great about this is you can now register how many people are coming and what time it is, and we'll make sure that you get the right link information in your email as verification for these webinars. Please register for the webinars, and then when you check in, it's always great if you can include in your check-in information where you're calling in from, what your group is, or what your organization might be. Let's go back to our guide and take a look at the frequently asked questions portion of the guide. Again, this is information that is geared more toward you as the workforce professional. The eligibility answers, all of the career activities, all of the information that might be useful for you in answering questions to your youth or other participants in your program. And the questions that we gathered yesterday at the session will be added to this FAQ so that you can find the answers to the questions that you need. Again, if you do not see your question, all you have to do is click on the box, type in your email address, type in what the program is about, what the category is, and what your subcategory is. If you do not see the subcategory that you need, just pick one and then type in the category at the top, because if something is new that we need, you can make sure that you get that here. Then submit, type in your question and submit it, and we will get an answer added to the FAQ as soon as possible. Let's go back again to the guide. And one of our topics is the archived training videos. We will have all of the videos, including today's, this video right now, this webinar right now. We will have that available for you, as well as other materials that are associated with that particular webinar. All of those items will be listed in here as soon as they become available. Back to the partner guide, we have, again, our page with our full list of resources. And these resources are great because not always do you know exactly where you need to go to look for it, but we've got them here in a list so that you can scroll through the list and find the document that you might need. Back to the partner guide, we have our categories available, guidance by category, and we're going to be talking about those in just a moment. What we will have available that will be just below this archived training webinars is anyone who turned in their sheet in yesterday's meeting in Chicago. We will have a list here for you to double check the information that you provided to us so that we can verify that and make sure that we can have all of that information correct, so that when we upload the map for the youth to check, that all of that information is appropriate. So check back later today or first thing tomorrow. Natasha just wrote a note in there that will let you know as soon as the map is available. But check back once you get that email so that you can verify your information. Let's dive into the Get Started. This is where we will find all of the information for you to be able to get up and running with your program. First and foremost, you need to understand the SYEP tools, and that's what we're doing with these webinars, is helping to explain what all of these components are to make it easier for you to be able to do your job this summer with summer youth. We also have the SYEP provider sites, and we're going to have the provider location map. It is in development right now, so we won't click there. But as soon as we get all of this information provided, we will have that available for you. The next important part is to make sure that your team has access to the tools that they need. So the first thing that we will be doing is all of the information that you gave us yesterday about the people that will be working on your staff, on the provider staff. We will be setting up the initial accounts for them and sending an email to the person so that they know what their username is, what a temporary password is, and so that they can log into their Workforce Professionals account. If you happen to add somebody else to your staff after we have set it up, or if you want to go ahead and set your account up now, you can do that by clicking on the Set Up an Illinois Worknet Workforce Partner Account. And then when we're in the process of adding the people to the accounts, we'll check to see if that name is there, and if they've already completed it, that's just one less step that has to be done. So you would click on this link. You would find your workforce area. So I happen to be sitting in Kane County. I'm going to click on Kane County. I would then look for the agency for which I work, and I'm going to pick Quad County Urban League on Farnsworth Avenue. And then all I have to do is type in why I want to register, what kind of user I want to be. Now remember, I had this question yesterday. If you want someone to only have limited access, do not have them sign up for a Workforce Professional account, because once they have access, they see everything that a Workforce Professional has rights to see. Now, it's only for your workforce agency. It's only for your agency, but they would see all of the information. Enter the first name, last name, the address, all of the items that are in red, emails, date of birth, what they want to see, and then the next step asks for a couple of confirmation items. I'm not going to fill in all of this information to take them to the next step, but all they have to do is follow the directions. Then they will have their Workforce Professional account set up. If you have someone added after we get everybody initially set up, please let us know by sending an email to info@illinoisworknet.com so that we can add them to the summer youth program so that they can see the documents. And if Natasha or Chelsea can type that email address in there, I would appreciate it. Let's go back to the guide. We can recruit potential participants for orientation, and we direct you back to the website so that you can send them to this information that they can see online, share it with their parents or with their mentor or guardian, and then they can see all of that. We also have, sorry, got to get back in here. We also have the flyers available for you. So if you want to see the SYEP flyer, we have it available in English and in Spanish. Should you need another flyer in another language, please let us know, but in most cases it's the parents that need the flyer. As Jeannie said yesterday, it's the parents that need the flyer more so than the youth themselves. For the application, we have the document in a PDF form so that they can look at the document and see what kind of requirements are necessary, what sort of information that they might need, and then they can write down the information as well. So this would be a good little cheat sheet for them to have to remember their username, their email, what their password was, what the answer was to the secret question that they have to pick, and the parent information. Maybe they don't know all of that information that they need. Then all of the answers to the question. So everything that they need to know to fill out the application is all available, and you can print those off in either English or Spanish. Additionally, if you want to recruit employer partners, you can do that here as well, and you can send them back to the website, or we have the flyer that's available in English only at this moment, and you can hand this out to employers. Now, if you need help on determining how to recruit employers, some of you may already have all of your employers set up. Some of you may need ideas about recruiting some of them. My suggestion would be is to let your local Chamber of Commerce know about this. Share the information with local other business organizations. Maybe there's a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Maybe you have the Valley Industrial Association. Maybe you have another small business advocacy council. Let the employers know about this program. Many government organizations like to use the summer youth to help them with things that have been piling up, like maybe sorting out filing. All of this information is something that we can also talk about in the technical assistance webinars that we will be having moving forward. We are going to get into the dashboard next. So using the dashboard is one of the opportunities that you have available to you, and it's a great, great system. We've been working on getting everything up and running. We do have a few features that are still in the test phase, so we will continue to work on those items and roll them out to you. We will show you examples and help you through that with all of our technical assistance webinars that we have. So while we're here, let me check to see if there are any questions that we need to answer for you right now. And I don't see a question. Oh, we do have a question. What if I only want a staff person to enter youth without other access? I believe that we addressed that all, and Natasha put the answer that all users, all workforce professional users will have the same access to all of the information, but they will only be able to see the information on your particular organization. So if you do not want somebody to see a list of everybody and where everything's going, please be careful about who you grant access to in the organization. Let's move forward into the tools. I'm going to close a couple of windows here. So right now I'm in the dashboard, and for you to gain access to the dashboard, I'm going to back up one slide here. And what you can do is from your partner guide, you would sign into the SYEP tools. So it's at the top of the, I'm going to back all the way out and come back into it. From the website, we go to the bottom of the screen, go to the SYEP guide, and at the top of the tools in the guide, you would sign into the SYEP tools. That will take you to the dashboard where all of the information is available for you about the youth that you have entered, all the employers that you have entered, and where you have placed individuals. This will also be the place where you will add payroll, and we will talk about that a little bit more. Tomorrow afternoon we'll go into more of the reports, etc. And as these items become available online, we will show you how they work through the technical assistance webinars that we will be holding. So right now, you can see from the dashboard that we can determine how many people have been submitted, who was determined eligible, who was not eligible, what the loss rate was, what the pass rate was, enrollment, all of those different items, and then the assessments and worksite placements. You'll see all of these numbers and how you're doing on the placements for your organization. Then we'll also have completion status of who returned to school, who was hired by an employer, who enrolled in training, did they withdraw or exit. All of these numbers are available to you. And when you come to adding youth, you will be able to search based on different parameters, what the organization was. Now, I'm logged in. I have access to all of the organizations. You would only see the organizations that are within your area. Now, and that would be limited for you as the individual. You can check to see who's there by eligibility status, how they scored, whether or not they have completed their pre-assessment, and what their worksite placement might be. At the bottom, you'll see that we have, based on your selections, we have a name. And Chris actually happens to be a staff member for Illinois Worknet, working on getting all of this technical stuff ready to go for everybody. But as you're looking at the results, you would be able to see the person's profile and find the information that is associated with that. And we can see what their eligibility information is, what the contact information, what what organization they're with, the demographic, how did they find out. So Chris found out about it on Twitter. Are you using social media to recruit youth? Are you using social media to recruit employers? For the employers, you would be able to add an employer, and it's very simple to add their name and information, who the primary contact is, and then check to see who your employers are. And unfortunately, right now, we don't have any employers in our list, so I can't show you what the information is there. Again, placements, you would select an organization at which to place the youth, and the organizations follow the information here, follows along with what your organization is. So that's our dashboard. Let's take a look right now and see if there are any other questions from the audience. Looks like Chelsea and Natasha are handling things, and we're doing pretty good here on time. So let's take a look back at the main page. And let's open up a poll question and say, how can you recruit employers? And I'm going to give this a short answer option. We're going to pull it in here, and let's share some ideas between all of us about how you might be able to recruit employers for your organization. And we'll give you just a moment or two to think about that. And if anybody else has any questions about what we have going on right now on the screen for getting started, please be sure to type them in the chat pod. At our 2:30 webinar, we will be talking about the career readiness opportunities. So please join us back at 2:30. All right, we have a very good. Use the people that you've used in the past. Recruit through your partner organizations. So depending on what kind of organization you are, you can use some of those. Oh, the job developer goes out in the field. That's good. Not everybody has a job developer, so that's a benefit that you have over some other organizations. Various professional organizations and chambers, other businesses that you work with. Ooh, neighborhood churches to see if they need assistance with summer camps. And let's do the same sort of thing here with recruiting youth. Now, many of you probably have a whole passel of youth that you have already been approached by to participate in the program. But just in case you haven't, let's take a look at some ideas for recruiting youth. High school counselors, PSAs. Whoever wrote that, can you spell out what you mean by PSA? Because I think of it as a public service announcement. And if that's what you mean, that's great. Thank you. Great. Contact organizations that have a waiting list that didn't get selected. So this is all great ideas, and maybe somebody hadn't thought about them before. How are you going to do it on social media? Are you going to share posts out through your organization and then ask your staff to share it? The YMCAs, the United Way, that's great. It's always great for employers if they can get something done for no cost to them other than a little bit of time. So using that we pay the way really helps a lot. Ooh, I like that. Ask youth to tweet when they get hired and share the link for the application. I like that. Announcement at masses. And it would work if you're not Catholic, too. You could do it at other congregational gatherings. I like all these answers. Great ideas, everybody. All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to guide you back to the presentation. I'm going to pull this over just a little bit so that you can see when our next webinars are. We will have career readiness at 2:30 this afternoon, and then we'll have youth work experience and program reports and payroll for what we have available tomorrow at 1 p.m. and at 2:30. And then for youth and partners, we will have our violence prevention webinar on June 25th and July 8th at, June 25th at 1 p.m. And then we'll have our first technical assistance webinar at 10:30 in the morning next Wednesday. So make sure that you check in for those technical assistance webinars as well, because they will cover new items that are being added, because we are feverishly working on making sure that everything is up and running as fast as humanly possible so that you guys can do your job without having to be in the dark with the technology. All right. So if I don't see any other questions coming up. Oh, wait, Peggy's typing. We'll give her just a moment. And if we don't see any other questions come up, we will be closing our recording today, and it will be posted in the archived webinars as soon as we can get that up. Delphine raised her hand. If you have a question, Delphine, if you can type that in the chat pod, we'll try and get that answered for you. And if you have any questions in the middle, please be sure to email us at info@illinoisworknet.com. We will try to answer those questions for you, but please first check the FAQ to make sure that we don't have the answer all ready for you. Check there always first. Tammy asked if the violence prevention video will be posted if we don't have youth enrolled by June 25th. Yes, we will be recording all of the webinars. They will be available for viewing as recorded if you cannot see them live. And we will be repeating a second webinar on July 8th. That will be just a tad different than the one on June 25th, but it will cover much of the same material. So you might want to watch both of them or have your youth watch both of them. All right, so if we don't have anything else coming up, we're going to thank you for your time today. I appreciate everybody joining us, and hopefully we'll see you again at 2:30. Have a great afternoon.